Welcome to my channel. And that is my makeup. Hold on, it's a bit of a weird light, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Hi guys, it's your girl Olivia. I hope you've all been keeping well, and I'm super excited to come today and have a new video to talk about some interesting things. Thank you guys for showing so much love on my previous video. I really appreciate it. I really like that we're building a community here. You guys are enjoying the different types of content that I am bringing, specifically when it comes to all things marketing, because yes, there's loads to talk about, there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of things to figure out, specifically those that are students, just finished graduating, and you're taking the next big leap of faith and you're going out there into the working world and you're trying to achieve your dream career. It's definitely exciting and it can feel overwhelming, but don't worry, I've got you. And I'm going to give you some tips I think is going to really help you. I wanted to talk about 3 things that I advise for you guys to stop doing to make sure you move forward to achieve your dream career. And a dream career can sound so fluffy, but a dream career is what you make it. You have to remember your job and your career is in your hands. So it's up to you and the steps and the actions that you take that's going to help you get there. So let's get straight into it. Guys, you've done the hard work, you've got your degree, or you're in the midst of studying, but you're still trying to think ahead and think about what are you going to do after you finish studying and go out there and look for a job. There is so much out there. There's so many jobs that you're probably seeing on LinkedIn and other recruitment sites, and you want to be a part of it. You want a piece of the pie and you want to make sure you're setting yourself up for success. That's fine. But I wouldn't be surprised if you feel a bit stuck, and with the overwhelmness, you're trying things and it's not really taking you anywhere, and you really want to make sure you're moving forward. Well, okay, I think I can help you out, because there's 3 things that I would advise that you should stop right now, this second, and make sure you change so you're actually affecting your future in a positive way and not in a negative way. Because I know it's a horrible feeling of feeling stuck, and I can attest to this so much. Just to give a quick background story, because I have to basically relate to you guys and show you that I understand exactly how you're feeling. I was there once before, but look at me, I have evolved and moved on, and so can you. I'm no different to you, and too can achieve the right career for yourself. I had finished uni and I had done internships every summer while I studied, so I was in first year, second year and third year. So for me, I had only had retail experience before going to university, and I was like, how am I gonna get experience in fashion, specifically in marketing, to be able to get a marketing assistant job? And the reality is, like, I don't know anyone in the industry. My parents don't come from this background, so how am I even going to find my feet? So I thought the smartest thing for me to do is during the summer holidays, or maybe the Easter holidays, where I had like a reading week or just downtime from actual going to classes, I would take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever I can get, and find an internship. It was really when Twitter was really big and popping. I would literally Google marketing companies in London. I would get that broad and just drill down till I find different companies or agencies that were appealing. For me, I've always been focused on fashion and lifestyle. So specifically, I always looked at fashion and lifestyle companies or agencies, and I always had like a roster of like ideal brands that I want to work in, or agencies that I heard of, or as I was discovering, I was always taking notes and finding out who were the big players. Like, I want to be where the big players are, right? So that's exactly what I did. So I had 3 internships. The first one was at a tiny small company that was at the top of Topshop in central London, and they were a beauty PR company. I couldn't even find fashion. Like, I was starting from a blank page. That's what I find, and they emailed me back and I just took it, and it was like 2 weeks. You know what, I'm actually getting something on my CV. Something is better than nothing. Then my second year of uni, I was part-time at New Look. New Look is a UK retail fashion brand, and I worked there like 12 hours a week just as a side bit to get a bit of money while I was studying. So I remember just like walking around the head retail store, and they actually had a PR room in the back, so stylists would come in and pull pieces. And at the time, this is when the Only Ways Essex was huge in the UK, and they had a deal with New Look. So at the time, they had the Only Ways Essex cast come in and they would pull clothes, because of course they had to like wear clothes to film all the time. So within their partnership agreement, they were always getting free stuff. So when I realized, oh okay, like the Only Ways Essex cast come in, they get to pull clothes, there's clearly a PR department, there must be a marketing department. So I remember knocking on the door and I was like, hey, like, I work here, I study this at uni, I would actually really love to get some work experience. And there was a girl in the back room, assuming she must have been a PR assistant, manager, I don't even remember. And she was like, yeah, just take this email and email. So that's what I did. And I did that, and I guess because I actually worked for the company in the store, it kind of gave me like an advantage to find an email, reach out to them, and I basically bothered them. And I actually got an internship, and that was I think 3 or 4 weeks. Loads of us, when I got the job, there was loads of us in the back room. They had a huge PR room where samples were coming in and out, and basically what I would do is take the samples, fix them up so they can obviously go back into store, or take them out from store and get them ready to be sent out. All of that. I did the grassroots of working in PR. Whilst I knew I've always wanted to work in marketing, at the time I wasn't finding a lot of marketing internships. It was so far and few between. So I thought, why don't I go into PR, because I know that's a similar part of the marketing umbrella, and at least I have some transferable skills that would help me attain a marketing assistant job. So that's when I actually got that PR role. And I was like, you know what, I've got 2 PR roles on my CV. I need a marketing one. If I'm gonna be a marketing assistant, I need experience. So then I remember emailing Hello magazine, which is a popular magazine in the UK. It's like a US weekly, so to speak. And obviously they interview celebrities, do photo shoots, they talk about different fashion and lifestyle trends. So I emailed them and they offered me a week, 5 days. And at that time I was studying in uni. I had to not turn up to any of my classes that week and just take the risk, and hopefully I would catch up what they posted on the portal. I basically emailed them, got the internship for 5 days, and I had minute experience, but as I said, something is better than nothing. And I was able to go into the office. The first day I didn't really do much, because you know the first day you're just trying to figure out, what do I do? They're trying to give me tasks. I did a lot of organizing in the storeroom, because of course they have decades and years of magazines, so I would organize that. I would actually help pitch advertising. So mostly the revenue that comes from magazines are from brands that want to advertise within the publications. So what I would do, reach into brands, help write an advertorial. A couple of little things that I did that, when I think about it, gave me some sort of insight in terms of what you would do specifically behind a magazine. All experience is valid if you're willing to see the lesson in it. So that's what I did. I started somewhere, and it still didn't make my life post-graduating easy, but it gave me inside scoop, and also it just helped me with a bit of confidence. Like, I have some sort of idea, always had a passion and intrigue, so it just kept me going. It gave me a lot of momentum to keep pushing forward, to keep striving for a job, and to look for the right things. 2 PR internships, 1 marketing. Even though it was so small, it was just 5 days, it did give me a bit of insight in terms of what jobs I like and what jobs I don't. It really validated that I really wanted to be a marketer, whereas in PR it's great at the time, but it wasn't getting into the strategy side, which is what I really like as a creative, specifically trying to build a brand, trying to build a story. I didn't really get that in PR. I feel like today PR has evolved and you actually get to do that, but when I graduated in 2013 it wasn't like that. So that's what I did, and how I kind of was trying to make that transition after graduating university to attain my first job. What I did, but along the way I made mistakes, as you do, and I really hope that some of the learnings that I learned can actually help you, so you don't have to make those mistakes at all. So let's get into it. Just finished uni, you've graduated, and you want to get a job, and of course marketing is a very broad industry. There's so many specific areas that you can delve into. So definitely, before we go into it, the first thing I would say is you need to identify the areas that you have an interest, and you also need to identify the strengths in your skill set where you can apply it to these specific roles that you're looking for. So for example, if you're way more of a creative and you have a knack of looking at data and being able to build an insight from it to build an opportunity and an objective that you can actually execute for storytelling, strategist could be an interesting area for you, because you're able to take an insight and actually build that into a consumer incentive or objective to answer for their needs and wants. So that's where you kind of need to take a step back and think about all your skills and think about where you want to attribute it to, versus you are really good at project management and you like to start something all the way to the end. You might think about brand management, because that's super critical in marketing, because you need to manage a portfolio of a brand, which requires so many different departments and elements to keep the brand alive, the momentum, and its whole brand persona. So maybe you can consider brand management. But if you're actually into copywriting, doing creative with, you know, copy, maybe email marketing is a critical area for you to go into. I could go on and on and on. Just even saying these 3 examples that shows the diversity of skill sets can actually be put towards a specific role within itself. The first one is you need to make sure you have a portfolio. And I know it sounds like that's crazy, I've just finished studying. You need to think of yourself as, I would say, as marketers, we need to position ourselves as brands within itself. You need to be able to go in an interview, have your CV with you, but also have a portfolio with you. And I'm saying that doesn't need to be like a book, we're not old school days. It can just be a link to your own website. Maybe you have a point of view, and I've said this in so many videos, but I can't stress this enough, particularly in this market, which is very volatile. It's 2025, the industry is changing, AI is coming in, there's so many other areas, and how much you kind of need to be equipped with the right knowledge to perform your task and perform it to the best of your ability. Gone are the days where you just need to rely on applying in LinkedIn and not doing anything outside of that. And that's where you need to be putting in time to build a portfolio. And that could be super small. Your friend could be starting up, I don't know, like a hair care brand, let's just say for the sake of conversation. And you was like, you know what, I'm actually going to help you. Why don't I help you shoot together so you can actually sell this? That is a portfolio for you. You can actually show how you actually contributed to the work. You help build the website, you help come up with copy. This is all examples for you to validate your CV, to show that yes, I have the theory experience graduating from uni, but I also have a bit of practical experience. Yes, it's on a small scale, but even that is more profound because you're able to show your employer what you're able to do with limited budget or no budget at all, versus when you actually get a job, you're in a business where they have resources and budget which you're going to work on, which is great because then you have the cushion of that. But if you're doing something startup raw, just helping a friend out, you're just using resources that you discover, which also helps show your leadership skills. Never despise small beginnings, because what you do is actually start to show your professional character, how you lead, you support, how you begin something, how you finish something, and how you measure the success. And that's what the recruiter is looking for, or the employee is looking for. They're trying to think, if I take this person on board and they join my team, how are they going to help? How are they going to have added value to what I already have going on? And why should I pick him or her versus the other person? This day and age, you need a portfolio, because there's so many people that have side hustles now, and that is what's helping them get the job. Like, gone are the days where you just rely on your degree. Like, that no longer moves the needle. You need to actually have something tangible, have something that's practical to showcase that you are who you say you are. There's so many people who didn't study marketing and also getting jobs, gone into the workforce, or they've done things on the side, and that's actually helped them build a portfolio and learn on the job, and they're able to master their craft. And you too can master your craft, and there's nothing stopping you. Regardless, if you don't have a 9-to-5, there's other areas where you can exercise your skill sets and strengthen them, so when the opportunity arises, you are ready. Make sure you have a portfolio. This could just be a landing page on a website for you where it showcases the skill sets that you're interested in. You can maybe talk about marketing areas that you think about. Like, don't be surprised. Recruiters will check your LinkedIn, and if your Instagram or Twitter or Facebook profile is public, they may do that. You never know. Specifically if it's a small company and HR is the manager and the office manager and potentially your manager, you don't know. So you want to make sure that you're prepared and you're positioning yourself and promoting yourself in the right way so you can be ready to get the job that you deserve, guys. And 2, stop ignoring your online profile. There's so many people that I speak to that ask me, Olivia, oh my god, how did you get your start? Like, how did you find your way? And I'm like, okay, so show me your CV. Their CV's not ready. Okay, show me your LinkedIn. Oh, I don't use LinkedIn, but they're like on Instagram and they're on TikTok. You need to build your professional online presence ASAP. You cannot get away with not having a professional profile. You can't avoid wanting to get a job. You want to mix with the right companies, you want to meet the right networks, but you don't have a professional platform for you to showcase yourself. It's really critical that you do that. So I would say that you really need to make sure that you are on LinkedIn and you have the right profile and you're using it in the right way. And if you are on Instagram and TikTok, you also need to make a decision in terms of how you want to use that. If that's just a personal profile that you want to use to showcase your interests and hobbies, that is fine. That's what it's there for you to show your creativity and connect with your friends, family, and beyond, right? You actually want to use it as a platform and you actually want to share a part of your life, then do that and be consistent in that. That's also an option that you have. If you want to keep it private and obviously only keep that to your intimate friends and family, you too also have the right to do that. But what I'm mainly trying to say is you need to choose how you want to use the platform, because if a recruiter goes on your Instagram, for example, and a company wants to vet your profiles and they see you, I don't know, drunk on a night out, that's going to be a problem. They want to make sure that they can trust you and you can actually be a representative to the company that you want to work for. And whilst I'm not condoning drinking and having a nice time with your friends, you have to understand particularly the company that you want to work for and how they keep their employees. Specifically when you work for big tech companies, they do more vetting than you think versus a small startup that might not. But you have to make sure that you're defining your personal profiles but also your professional profiles. You need to make sure that you're on LinkedIn even if you are a graduate. And one thing that I think is working now that I would advise, if you are a student, first year, second year, third year, document your journey. LinkedIn is becoming a creator economy model just as much as Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok is. You have an opportunity to tell your story and build relationships with hiring managers, marketing managers, and companies that you want to work for, because you need to understand what's going on in the industry and category that you have an interest in. So when you do go into an interview and they're asking you, you want to work for Louis Vuitton, like, what have you liked about us? You can actually speak, well, I saw your campaign, you liked it because of this, this, and this. For me, you're showing them like, oh wow, you have an interest, brand that you like, that you've studied, that you've seen. So that shows that you have an added interest. But if you don't know nothing going on, how are you to be able to add value to show that in the interview? Because you're trying to prove that you are the right candidate. You are the right candidate because you've got the right professional skills, you've got the right interpersonal skills, but also you have a passion and an interest in the brand. Or maybe you have a campaign that you saw from a consumer point of view, and you can ask them, oh, I really liked your spring summer campaign, but I realized that you did this which is really different. Why was that? Going in as a consumer and you're speaking to the brand yourself and you're kind of vetting and asking them questions because you're studying and analyzing their strategies, which shows when you're an entry level, you want to feel like a sponge. You want to show up that you're willing to soak in all the knowledge so you can take it on and add value back to the business that you want to be a part of. So don't discount having a professional profile, but understanding what's happening in the industry that you have a personal interest in. Like, you can't have a passion for it but then know nothing about it. That doesn't make sense. That's not being authentic or true, and that's not really showing up as your best self. So you want to make sure that you do that so you have the best chance of achieving the role that you want. The third and final one, stop waiting for the perfect job, because in true reality there is no perfect job. The job is what you make it. And probably most of us thinks the traditional trajectory is you're going to graduate and you're going to apply for a job and you're going to get it and you're going to be a full-time employee. Sounds great, sounds perfect, but we know sometimes that is not life. But there's so many other opportunities in terms of what you can do. You can actually have an internship, ideally one that's paid, so you're not searching for money. I know that internships and working for free is not the best situation for all people. I know for myself, working for free was not helpful for me. I did that on 2 internships, but I did that whilst I was at uni. So I was a student and I was working part-time, and what I did is I had to take holidays in those 2 weeks, so I would still get paid, but I was just working for free somewhere else, just trying to expand my skills, right? Really, what I know most people would be looking for is internships that are paid. There are so many other opportunities that you can do, is actually freelancing, and that is such a great win because 1, you're able to learn on the job, and 2, you are paid, but also you're offering your services. And when I talked about the first point is making sure that you show up as a professional and actually show up as a brand, freelancing actually gives you the opportunity to do that because you are independent and you're coming in as a professional to offer your services. You actually are building a network beyond than what you think. people that you work with can go somewhere else and they can also recommend you. And what that is doing in today's market, you're actually fast tracking yourself to actually build the ideal job that you want for yourself. And risk, and it's very flexible and open. But the reality is, if you don't have a job but you have an opportunity to freelance, that's a win, because it's better to do something than do nothing at all. And you have to get rid of the mindset that you're waiting for the perfect job. It needs to be this right pay. You can try it and you can plan, but you also have to be open and be flexible to the different opportunities that might come your way. You are look at full-time, look at part-time. I know for most people, full-time would be preferred because you want to have a healthy income. But sometimes working part-time, getting experience on your CV and earning some money is actually going to move the needle forward than actually doing nothing at all and waiting for the perfect job. There is no perfect job. I wanted to wait, I wanted to get a full-time job. It needs to be in a specific industry, but all that did was held me back because I was getting rejected because I didn't have enough experience and I was sitting down wasting time. So what I actually did was I had an interest in fashion and I started my blog, and that was self-funded. That's something I did on my own as an independent person. But what that did was allow me to network with other people in the industry, discover brands that I wasn't a part of, that I wasn't aware of, discover agencies that I didn't know of. So then I can actually think to apply there, meet the founders or people that work there and build relationships. Think about applying for a job, trying to attain experience and exercise your skill set. And you have to think sometimes it doesn't matter the environment that it is, all that matters is that you are in a role within it. And by getting your feet wet and actually trying to get some experience, you have to try something than doing nothing at all, because all you're doing is holding yourself back while other people are willing to take risk. And because you're a student, you've only just started, taking a risk, there's not that much risk at hand, because the worst thing that you can do is not like it and stop. Think about the positives mostly and the opportunities that it unlock. And you have to think, you can't really see the road ahead, all you can see is right now. So focus on the opportunities that are here and now and just say yes. Like I would always say, if you are young and you're trying to figure it out, always say yes, because what that does is continue to unlock opportunities. Saying yes at a freelance job could actually open the door to become a full-time employee. Saying yes at a freelance job may open the opportunity to get more freelance jobs, and you actually end up just being an entrepreneur within the industry versus working for an employee. Try not to think of a linear journey, because that is not life. The risk, do not be afraid to fail, and try until you feel like you've got something that works for you. Graduating is such a huge achievement and you have high hopes to get the dream career. You could be freelancing, but you may feel that you've got your dream career, but it probably didn't come in the package that you thought. But that's the beauty of life, because you're continually designing your journey as you go along, and it starts to make sense as you continue to say yes to opportunities and put forth the action. And that's how I want to close this video, that this video is not about finding things perfect, it's just about taking action. And that's what's going to help you unlock the opportunities for tomorrow based on the action you take today. 3 things that we need to start doing to make sure you get your dream career and make sure you don't miss out on any opportunities that's going to unlock your future self. If you guys found this video helpful, please make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch the other ones. I have so many fun videos that give you a lot of insight into marketing, my journey in marketing, my successes, my failures, and how I've been able to build a career over 11-12 years. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.